All right, let's talk about something that's absolutely foundational in software development. We're going to break down a little thing called MVC. I mean, think about it. Any app you use, it's this complex dance of data, logic, and what you actually see on the screen. So how in the world does it all hang together without just becoming a complete mess? Well, the answer isn't about writing more complicated code. It's actually about a really simple core idea of organization. It's about finding an elegant way to tame all that complexity. And that big idea, it's called separation of concerns. And really, it's just what it sounds like. It's this powerful yet incredibly simple principle that every single part of your application should have one job, and only one job. That's it. Do one thing and do it really, really well. So this isn't just some vague, abstract concept. Nope. It's been formalized into a specific pattern, a pattern that has pretty much become the backbone for how we build most software today. And that pattern is MVC, Model View Controller. It's basically a blueprint that splits an entire application into 3 distinct interconnected components, and you guessed it, each one has its own specific job to do. So like the name says, you've got 3 parts: the model, the view, and the controller. Now, the controller is kind of like the traffic cop, directing things between the other 2. But to really get to the heart of this whole idea, we're going to zoom in on the 2 big ones, the model and the view. All right, first up, the model. The easiest way to think about the model is as the brain of your application. Seriously, it handles all the data and all the rules that go along with it. So its job is to manage the application's core logic. It defines the structure of the data, it talks to the database, all that heavy lifting. But here's the absolute key takeaway. The model knows nothing about the user interface. It has no clue what the app looks like. All it cares about is the data itself, period. And check this out. This makes it super clear. This is a simple little example from the Django framework. It's a user model. See how it just defines what a user is? It has a name, it has an email, it even sets a rule. The email has to be unique. But notice what's missing. There's nothing here about colors or buttons or layout. It's just pure structure. So when it comes down to it, the model is simply what the app knows. That's its whole universe. Okay, so if that's the brain, let's talk about the other side of this coin, the view. And if the model is the brain, then the view, well, the view is the face. It's everything you see and interact with. The view has one job and one job only, to show stuff to the user. It gets a bunch of data, and its whole purpose is to make it look good. And this is the perfect mirror image of the model, right? The view has zero idea where the database is or what the business logic is. It has no clue how it got the data. It just knows its job is to make it presentable. And this just lays it out so perfectly. You've got the brain, the model, doing all the heavy lifting with data and logic, but it's totally blind to how any of it gets displayed. And then you've got the face, the view, making everything look pretty, but it's completely, blissfully unaware of all the complicated stuff happening in the background. One job, one focus. They stay in their own lanes.
So you might be asking, okay, why bother with all this? Why the strict separation? Well, because this is what makes huge, complex software actually manageable. It makes it easier to change, easier to scale, and way easier to fix when something breaks. It means your designers can work on the view while your engineers work on the model, and they aren't constantly stepping on each other's toes. And because this just works, it's not some obscure academic idea. It is the literal backbone of pretty much every major web framework out there. I mean, look at this list. Django, Ruby on Rails, Spring, Laravel, all of them are built on this core idea. This is how we build the massive, complicated apps we all use every single day.
It all comes down to this. When you give each component a single, clear, focused role, you cut down on the complexity, you lower the noise, and that lets you build incredibly powerful and stable applications. It is the very definition of achieving high impact through low noise. So, I want to leave you with a final thought here. This powerful principle, separation of concerns, it's way bigger than just code. I mean, think about a professional kitchen. You have a chef for sauces, a chef for pastries, or a movie set, or even an assembly line. This principle is everywhere. So where else in your world is separation of concerns the key to managing complexity?